Hello and welcome back to Smarmalade Plays Halloween Otome. We're having a rest day. I woke up feeling excited to go out. I quickly got dressed before leaving my room. I see that you wish to go out today. Do you have any destination in mind? The mall. I really want to get some shopping done before the trip is over. Why? Can't she go to the mall anytime she wants? Right away, Miss Ugu. He handed me my phone and waited until I'd put it away before continuing. Please follow me. He led me into one of the hidden passages, and after a ridiculous amount of twists and turns, we emerged in an underground parking bay. I thought they showed the interior of the car for like 1 second. We got into a nondescript car, and he dropped me off in front of the mall, giving me instructions to phone him when I'm done. Look at the mall, it's so beautiful. I spent a while just window shopping and mentally noting things that I or Mira would like. Miss Archer. I forgot her voice. Apparently now she's like something. I was just starting to get hungry when I heard someone call out for me. I turned toward the voice to see a blue-haired young woman walking toward me. The Ice Queen? I knew it was you. Oh wow, what a coincidence. It certainly is. So what brings you here? I'm sure there are plenty of other places you could have chosen for this rest day. I wanted to get some shopping done before the event was over. What about you? Something similar, although it doesn't hurt that I've already seen all the sights here anyway. It was at that moment that my stomach decided to remind me that I had yet to eat. I was just about to grab some food. Do you want to join me? Please, call me Osira. I'd be delighted to join you. That name sounds familiar, but I can't place it. Mira would probably know. What about Eric's What Eric doesn't know won't hurt him. Besides, by this point I know a lot of people have figured out the identities of the more obvious celebrities. Well, in that case, I'm Smarmalade. It's nice to formally meet you, Smarmalade. It's nice to meet you too. Do you know what's the best place to get something for breakfast around here? Well, I suppose that would depend on your taste. But there is this cafe that does absolutely divine waffles and pancakes. Lead the way, Tilda! A few minutes later, we were both seated in a cafe with a mound of breakfast food in front of us. You're right, these are amazing. It's Uncle Mugen's. Mugen? Mugen's. Uncle Mugen's. I'm glad that you like them. I more than like them. I'd love to get the recipes. I may be able to help with that. She signaled the waiter over. No, you don't want the recipes? I do, but generally places like this won't. Let me worry about that. I'm fucking famous. She handed the waiter a card. Could you please make sure that your manager gets that? Certainly! I don't know, waiter voice. A few minutes later, a sharply dressed man made his way over to our table. Miss Joseph Sterling, if you had told us you were coming, we would have had the best table prepared for you. I am aware of that. Is there anything at all that we can do to make your time here more? There is one thing you could do. You see, my friend over here would like to get a copy of the cafe's recipes. Of course, I'll see to it right away. What the hell? Why did his voice just change again? Whatever. The manager rushed to the kitchen. You didn't have to do that. I know, but I wanted to. Honestly, if I can't use my influence to help out a friend, then what good is it? But we've really only just met. True, but when it comes to people, I trust my instincts, and they say good things about you. You could get in trouble that way. Well, I haven't yet. Besides, if it bothers you that much, you can always repay me by cooking these dishes for me one day. Of course I will. Thank you so much. A few minutes later, the manager returned with a binder that he laid on the table. That should be all of them. Now he's American. Whatever. Thank you. Dot dot dot. Was there something else? You'll tell your father good things about us, right, Miss Joseph Sterling? If his voice is going to keep changing, it might as well really keep changing. I'll tell him that you've been very helpful. The manager let out a long breath. Thank you, Miss Joseph Sterling. He turned and walked back to his office. So, what was that about? This cafe chain is one of my father's many business ventures. Lucky, Tilda. You must have gotten to try out so much amazing food. She let out a giggle. Not that many people care about how good the food tastes. They tend to care more about the money. But it's a food chain. Surely they want good food. That isn't what I meant. Still, I'm glad I was able to meet someone like you on this trip. We paid for the food and left the cafe. We walked around for a bit, through the different stores, and bought some things that caught our interest. We were just about to enter another store when Osira's phone started to ring. I think her name's Osiria, and I've been saying the wrong name. Whatever. Are you gonna answer that? Osiria. Yeah, Osiria. Alright, what's about this rockin' beat? Yeah! Woo! In a moment. I like the song, and he can afford to wait a few seconds. It's probably copyrighted again. I'm gonna get a copyright claim. She brought the phone to her ear and accepted the call. She doesn't have a phone in her hand. Hello? Yes, the 57 missed calls did give me the impression that you were trying to contact me. Have you forgotten the rules of the game? We don't get to keep our phones while it's in full swing. Yes, well, if you hadn't got yourself kicked out all those years ago, that wouldn't be a problem. No, I haven't been accosted by anyone. No. No one has made any romantic advances toward me, willingly or otherwise. Yes, all of my needs are being seen to by Eric's attentive staff. No, you know what? I'm just going to hang up now. I have company and a very limited amount of time to actually enjoy it. I'm going to be back home in a few days anyway. You should take the time to go and do something fun without me. Hanging up now. And with that, she cut the call. Boyfriend? Butler. He's like Alfred from Batman. Sounds like a suffocating relationship. It usually isn't. He just gets separation anxiety. Sounds like a pet. Well, he is like a puppy, although he has a really mean bite. Still, I'll worry about him when I get back. For now, we should enjoy ourselves. We spent the rest of the day shopping, and before we knew it, it was time to return to the mansion. I woke up immediately and realized something was different. I was in a fucking tomb. What the? The room looks so different. Is this even the same room? My costume is here at least. I just finished changing when Eric's announcement tone played. Now maybe we'll get some answers. Dot dot dot. Instead of Eric's voice, only static could be heard. I wonder if there's something wrong with this thing. Dot dot dot. The static just kept getting louder before abruptly cutting off to be replaced with his announcement tone. So much for that. I guess I'll head to the team room. I opened the door only to freeze. What the? It's all different out here, too. What happened last night? Drank. I looked around to see if there was some sort of clue or servant around, but there was no one in sight. There's usually always someone around. If I just keep looking, I'm bound to run into someone. My mind made up, I took off down the corridor. I had just rounded a corner when I heard someone call out to me. Miss Archer, how lovely to see you here. I looked around to see the Count on the other side of the corridor. Oh hey, Count. I'd say the same, but the whole being in what looks like a dungeon thing makes it less lovely. Nonsense. I'd even go so far as to say that your presence makes this place far better than any other. I'm glad that I had the good fortune to run into an angel and not a demon, Tilda. Right. Well, do you have any idea where we are or where the others are? We're probably somewhere in the mansion, and I'd warrant a guess that the others are too. We'll probably run into them eventually. Still, I wouldn't mind spending more time alone with you, Tilla. Oh, I was gonna say, what's wrong with the game? But suddenly the lights flickered before plunging us into darkness. If we had candles, this could have been very romantic. You have strange ideas when it comes to romance. A few seconds later, the lights came back on. Well, that was short-lived. We should get going. We have a task to do. True. He waited until I bridged the gap between us so we could walk side by side. Maybe we should hold hands. Why? So we don't get separated? I think we can handle that without hand-holding, unless you intend to wander off. Of course not. I wouldn't part from... A sudden clatter had us starting. What was that? I'm not sure, but it came from that direction. We cautiously made our way to the source of the sound. We both froze in shock at the scene in front of us. Well, someone has strange taste in decor, and possibly lacks olfactory perception. Oh my god! We looked to see a pale Mr. Wolf enter the corridor, closely followed by Mr. Bandages. I was wondering where the two of you were. I almost thought you got Finally! Company that might actually hold it together! Jesus Christ! Well, someone's excited to see me. Did aliens steal his body? The sound definitely came from... Who? We all turned to see Osiria enter the room, followed by 2 females and 1 male. Fancy meeting you all of you here. Osiria is dyslexic. It is certainly a pleasure to be in the presence of 4 lovely ladies. Both women behind the Ice Queen proceeded to blush and preen. The Ice Queen, however, lived up to her name and didn't even bat an eye at his remarks. If we're all here to finish the same task, perhaps we should work together. That sounds... How do we know that you won't betray us at the end to claim the win for yourself? That's not for you to decide. I was talking to your leader. I think we should team up. That's good that they didn't give me the option because I would have picked no, that we shouldn't team up. Anyway. I look forward to working with you. Likewise. I suppose introductions are in order. I'm the Ice Queen, and these are Lady Luna. She gestured to the woman dressed as a moon goddess. Miss Angel? She gestured to the woman in a full white angel costume. And Sir Knight. She gestured to the man wearing armor that showed more skin than would have been safe in a proper battle. I proceeded to introduce my team to the others. You're so lucky to be in a team with 3 dependable guys. What makes you think they're dependable? I don't know what kind of voice to give Miss Angel. I'm gonna forget Luna's voice anyway. They look dependable, not like our Sir Knight. She's a man. Hey, I'm dependable. Mr. Bandages completely ignored what was happening as he walked through the bloodied corridor to get a closer look at the bloodstained message on the wall. That's gross. Is he wearing shoes? I cringed at the sloshing of his feet over the entrails. I can't remember her name already. So why don't you go over and look at the message too? No way, I'm not going over there. Eric certainly outdone himself this time. For once, something in his Halloween event is more creepy than corny.